very early morning. I woke up and I can't really get back to sleep. For me, this is very, very early, like quarter to one early. So, yeah. But, this is of course Dragon Age Inquisition yet again. Oof. And there's definitely a few things here. I have found that I have often forgotten or ignored the multiplayer aspect of this game. It's not really a component that I pay much attention to. I've played it a little bit. I've got a character that I've used, but I haven't really explored it all that in depth. I think about spellbinders. So. Looks like the watchtower should be done. With the watchtowers built, we've had advanced warning of demon... excuse me. We've had advanced warning of demon and bandit attacks. The area is safer for both the refugees and the farmers who had fled the nearby fields. Much appreciation, sir, for... It's good to know that the Inquisition is willing to put in the time to help these people. Corporal Vale. And we have received weapon plans and located an apiary to supply us. When the idea was presented, the beekeeper tented his fingers and sneered. Of course. Quite disturbing. Yeah. So let's take a look. We've got a couple things over here also to expand upon. Such as that, getting the charger. Investigate the strange chalk markings. Do you know this sign? A triangle, point down, two wavy lines through it. A lookout spotted it in chalk on a ruined wall close to one of our outposts. A cursory inquiry into the symbol has revealed nothing. Archivists are still looking. Argent thinks she saw the symbol, or something very like it, scrawled in a ledger that belonged to the Comtesse de Bayard. A sweep was done, as you ordered. Almost every outpost of ours has been marked in this manner. Many believe we are being watched. To what end we do not know. This is a good one for Liliana. What about a decoy outpost set up near a trade route and watched carefully? If someone decides to take out their piece of chalk, we'll have them.
Let's see what we have.
Part of a Ben Hasworth report noted the current fight for succession in Leeds, which has been without a direct ruler since Duke Ramash died early in the Orlesian Civil War. So, the duchy will go to one of 3 members of the dead duke's family, all of whom have possible claims to the position due to the complex nature of Orlesian politics. His cousin, Carolina, already duchess by marriage, his daughter, Monette, whose claim is muddied by her youthful naivety and the fact that her father pushed her into a life of service and chantry after his wife's death, likely to protect her from the dangers of the game, and his brother Jean Gussard, an ambitious and cunning man who has been searching for power. Caroline is capable and not overly invested in overseeing Leeds personally. Monette would be the most easily manipulated, but less likely to be useful. Jean Guissard would be difficult to manipulate and could present a threat if he succeeds his brother. Any of the 3 candidates could become a valuable ally of the Inquisition, but the other 2 must be removed from play first. And Josephine says that I can destroy Carolina's marriage with 4 words and the proper glove left on the proper table. And Jean Guissard is a chevalier and a capable military leader. If we want him removed, I dare say we might recruit him for ourselves. Yeah, I'm gonna remove Carolina. Destroying her marriage, though, seems painful to me. I can make no sense of this. The Herald found her. Perhaps she can advise. Colin, or perhaps she can advise Colin. For you big hats. Lord Whatever says you're rubbish. His servants don't care but could. Drop a few things for them. They'll give Josephine a surprise. I think scrolls or something. Yeah, Colin wants to ignore it. I'm going to come back to that. I do want to do it. The confrontation with Mother Hevera in Val Royale market. I can't seem to read. I seen the market had the desired effect. To a point, the Chantry's condemnation of the Inquisition was lost amid a flurry of speculation over the action of Lord Seeker Lucius, as well as a divide in the opinions of the remaining Chantry circles. There is, however, clerics still loudly denouncing the Herald of Andraste. The Inquisition could leave them to their speeches, but dealing with them before the Chantry elects a new divine could be of benefit. We could send a contingent of Inquisition soldiers to the Grand Cathedral. They could offer protection, and their visibility would remind the clerics they are not out of our reach. And
All right.
that is what I'm going to go for. Alright. Oh boy. Alright, so far what I've seen is the Templar rebels having had some red lyrium around them. On the other, which is concerning. And the Lord Seeker acting strangely. On the other hand, a Deventer, Magister, has swooped in using time magic in order to secure mages for whatever he's working on. And the Inquisitor, the survivor, as they are saying, is being threatened. Even though the threat is putting on a friendly face to appear innocent in order to draw in for an attack. And the Arl of Redcliffe has been kicked out of his own home. Look, Redcliffe has already gone through enough with mages during the Blight. The son of the former Jarl, Arl, excuse me, not Jarl, but Arl. We actually saw there regretting what took place, which corresponds to when he had been possessed by a demon as a child. Oh. Yeah, we're going to deal with this. Redcliffe Castle and the mages who could close the breach are under the control of Magister Garen Alexius, a Venatori cultist with an unhealthy interest in Trevelyan and the power to reorder time itself. He has kindly invited Trevelyan to the castle alone to negotiate. It's an obvious trap, but Liliana and her agents can infiltrate the castle and remove the Venatori threat while Alexius's attention is diverted. A dangerous game, but it's our best chance. Yeah, I'm unwilling to leave Alexius and his time magic unopposed. No matter what I do over there. Really? Okay, here on my chat, Friendly Mexican has told me cheap viewers on a website. And that right there. No. Their account has been around for a while. One moment. What I'm going to do, I'm going to just copy what they said. That way, Alright. There we go. Because, honestly, how do you get banned and blocked from my channel? Yeah, send me stuff send me stuff that's basically part of what is obviously a scam of some sort. Where was, yes. This is what, yeah, I can't let Alexius and his time magic continue to go, because if I ignore it, they will keep trying to use it. And
we don't have the manpower to take the castle. Either we find another way in, or give up this nonsense and go and get the Templars.
Redcliffe is in the hands of a Magister. This cannot be allowed to stand.
The letter from Alexius asked for the Herald of Andraste by name. It's an obvious trap.
So, we've heard from Magister Alexius. I expected as much.
And yet some of us want to sit and do nothing. Not this again.
Redcliffe Castle is one of the most defensible fortresses in Ferelden. It has repelled thousands of assaults. If you go in there, you'll die. And we'll lose the only means we have of closing these rifts. I won't allow it.
And if we don't even try to meet Alexius, we lose the mages and leave a hostile foreign power on our doorstep. Even if we could assault the keep, it would be for naught. An Orlesian Inquisition's army marching into Ferelden would provoke a war. Our hands are tied.
The Magister
has outplayed us.
We can't just give up. There has to be something we can do.
We cannot accept defeat now. There must be a solution.
Other than the main gate, there's got to be another way into the castle. A sewer? A watercourse? Something.
There's nothing I know of that would work.
Wait. There is a secret passage into the castle, an escape route for the family. It's too narrow for our troops, but we could send agents through.
Too risky. Those agents will be discovered well before they reach the Magister.
That's why we need a distraction. Perhaps the envoy Alexius wants so badly.
Focus their attention on Trevelyan, while we take out the Tevinters. It's risky, but it could work.
Fortunately, you'll have help.
This man says he has information about the Magister and his methods, Commander.
Your spies will never get past Alexius's magic without my help. So if you're going after him, I'm coming along.
The plan puts you in the most danger. We can't in good conscience order you to do this. We can still go after the Templars if you'd rather not play the bait. It's up to you.
oh, I am totally playing the bait. Let's see. Redcliffe Castle and the mages who could close the breach are under the control of Magister Garion Alexius, a Venatori cultist with an unhealthy interest in Trevelyan and the power to reorder time itself. He has kindly invited Trevelyan to the castle, alone, to negotiate. It's an obvious trap, but Liliana and her agents can infiltrate the castle and remove the Venatori threat while Alexius's attention is diverted. A dangerous game, but it's our best chance. Ooh. Okay, he's definitely coming along. So from that standpoint, ooh. Yeah, Cassandra. See, I usually okay, I know who I usually could bring along with me. This is my usual team with these two. And Solus. But I'm bringing him along. Instead. And that is fine. See, Spellbinders, the First Inquisition, and stuff about returning to camp.
Announce us.
The Magister's invitation was for Mistress Trevelyan alone. The rest will wait here.
If my friends can't enter, then I won't go in either.
Ooh.
My Lord Magister, the agents of the Inquisition have arrived.
My friend, it's so good to see you again. And your associates, of course. I'm sure we can work out some arrangement that is equitable to all parties.
Are we mages to have no voice in deciding our fate?
Fiona, you would not have turned your followers over to my care if you did not trust me with their lives.
If the Grand Enchanter wants to be part of these talks, then I welcome her as a guest of the Inquisition.
Thank you.
The Inquisition needs mages to close the breach, and I have them. So, what shall you offer in exchange?
Don't bother. I know that you invited me here to kill me.
If you believe that, I marvel that you chose to come anyway.
She knows everything, Father.
Felix, what have you done?
Your son is concerned that you're involved in something terrible.
So speaks the thief. Do you think you can turn my son against me? You walk into my stronghold with your stolen mark, a gift you don't even understand, and think you're in control. You're nothing but a mistake.
What do you know about the Divine's death?
It was the Elder One's moment, and you were unworthy even to stand in his presence.
Father, listen to yourself. Do you know what you sound like?
He sounds exactly like the sort of villainous cliché everyone expects us to be.
Dorian, I gave you a chance to be a part of this. You turned me down. The Elder One has power you would not believe. He will raise the Imperium from its own ashes.
That's who you serve. The one who killed the Divine. Is he a mage?
Soon, he will become a god. He will make the world bow to mages once more. We will rule from the Boric Ocean to the frozen seas.
You can't involve my people in this.
Alexius, this is exactly what you and I talked about never wanting to happen. Why would you support this?
Stop it, Father. Give up the Venatori. Let the Southern Mages fight the breach, and let's go home.
No, it's the only way, Felix. He can save you.
Save me?
There is a way. The Elder One promised, if I undo the mistake at the temple.
I'm going to die. You need to accept that.
Seize them, Venatori. The Elder One demands this woman's life.
Your men are dead, Alexius.
You are a mistake. You should never have existed.
Boom.
Blood of the Elder One. Where'd they come from?
Displacement. Interesting. It's probably not what Alexius intended. The rift must have moved us to what? The closest confluence of arcane energy?
The last thing I remember, we were in the castle hall.
Let's see. If we're still in the castle, it isn't. Oh, of course, it's not simply where, it's when. Alexius used the amulet as a focus. It moved us through time.
That doesn't sound good.
It sounds terrible, depending on when we are and what happened while we were away. Let's look around, see where the rift took us. Then we can figure out how to get back. If we can.
What was Alexius trying to do?
I believe his original plan was to remove you from time completely. If that happened, you would never have been at the Temple of Sacred Ashes or mangled his Elder One's plan. I think your surprise in the castle hall made him reckless. He tossed us into the rift before he was ready. I countered it. The magic went wild, and here we are. Make sense?
Alexius mentioned an Elder One in the hall. Do you know who he was talking about?
Leader of the Venatori, I suspect. Some magister aspiring to godhood. It's the same old tune. Let's play with magic we don't understand. It will make us incredibly powerful. Evidently, it doesn't matter if you rip apart the fabric of time in the process.
There were others in the hall. Could they have been drawn through the rift?
I doubt it was large enough to bring the whole room through. Alexius wouldn't risk catching himself or Felix in it. They're probably still where and when we left them. In some sense, anyway.
Then let's go.
I'm right behind you.
Alright, so... Ooh, prison key, good. That is one of the things I was looking for. Alright, let me just grab those. And that is red lyrium clinging to the walls, which is not a good sign. I think having it arc further, as I'm beginning the process of upgrading. But I've got Dorian with me. Let's see, first off, let's give him barrier. That is a good staple. A good staple. He does seem rather fiery, doesn't he? Let's give that. So, here we go. Red lyrium growing along the walls. Not a good sign. Let me check the other doorway just in case. I know that there's a it's just making sure I'm not forgetting something
Alexius
along.
has made a dreadful mess of this place, hasn't he?
I didn't see this part of the castle.
It was covered in the tackiest carvings of wolves and dogs I'd ever seen. This is not an improvement.
Wait, spiked tower shield. I'm just gonna nab that. Yeah. Alright. I don't really like the red lyrium growing everywhere. It's a bad, bad sign. And that's that doorway that was on the other side, just all blocked. Ooh.
Andraste blessed me, Andraste blessed me. My tears are my sins, my sins, my sins. Andraste guide me, Andraste guide me.
What did they do to you?
Andraste blessed me, Andraste blessed me.
Well, he did say that he sings the chant, and that he'd spend the rest of his life locked up, just because he's a mage, and that's not fair. And in this case, it's quite literally what he had said. Ooh.
The light shall lead her safely through the paths of this world and into the next. For she who trusts in the Maker, fire is her water. You've returned to us. Can it be? Has Andraste given us another chance? Maker, forgive me. I failed you. I failed everyone. The end must truly be upon us if the dead return to life.
You look wounded. Maybe we can help.
Nothing you do can help me now. I'll be with the Maker soon.
Alexius sent us forward in time. If we find him, we may be able to return to the present.
Go back in time? Then, can you make it so that none of this ever took place?
That's my hope.
Alexius is master. After you died, we could not stop the Elder One from rising. Empress Celine was murdered. The army that swept in afterwards, it was a horde of demons. Nothing stopped them. Nothing.
I should have been there to help you.
You're here now.
A horde of demons. Along with the Empress murdered. Yeah. Depending on who you brought with you, is which cell will have someone in it. Which makes it interesting.
Andraste Sacred Knickers, you're alive. Where were you? How did you escape?
We didn't escape. Alexius sent us into the future.
Everything that happens to you is weird.
You might be right about that.
I'm always right, and when I'm not, I lie about it. So, what are you doing here? Or did you come back just to trade quips with me?
We get to Alexius, and I just might be able to send us back to our own time. Simple, really.
You and I have very different definitions of the word simple. You want to take on Alexius? I'm in. Let's go.
Alright.
Alexius locked himself in the throne room. That is where we'll find him.
Alright. Yeah, but they're glowing red, which is a bad, bad sign. Oh, this is me trying to make my way back up to the cells, I think, wasn't it? Yes. Which would be here. That thing is sort of creepy, isn't it? With a giant skull on it. Okay, no one in there, which is fine. Nugskin. Oh, look at her.
You're alive. I saw you disappear into the rift.
Is that red lyrium growing from your body? How?
The longer you're near it, eventually you become this. Then they mine your corpse for more.
Can you tell us the date? It's very important.
Harvest Mia. 942 Dragon.
942? Then we've missed an entire year.
We have to get out of here. Go back in time.
Please, stop this from happening. Alexius serves the Elder One, more powerful than the Maker. No one challenges him and lives.
I promise I will do everything in my power to set things right.
Our only hope is to find the amulet that Alexius used to send us here. If it still exists, I can use it to reopen the rift at the exact spot we left. Maybe.
Good.
I said, maybe. It might also turn us into paste.
You must try. Your spy master, Leliana. She is here. Find her. Quickly. Before the Elder One learns you're here.
Ooh. Okay. Oh.
It's an infection. Maker, why is it coming out of the walls?
Are you sure you want to find out?
Andraste, have mercy on their souls.
Well, the gang's all back together. What could go wrong now?
Oh boy. A Venatory tome. Tome.
Take a look around. See if there's anything we can use.
A prayer to the new God. Praise his name, who has risen from the darkness. Praise his name, who has striven, or who has striven from the light. Praise his name, who has walked the golden city. Praise his name. The old gods are no more. The Maker never was. The new God is among us. Praise his name. Ooh. Guard's journal. Now, yeah, and the fact that the Templar guard that's in there definitely has delirium growing out of him as well, which makes it clear that's also ooh. Raider longsword, alright. Alright, but where we're heading is this way. This is a messed up possible future, making it very clear what happens if the player character is not there.
The Elder One has taken all that is his and will soon rule from his city.
That still doesn't make him a god.
she find peace at the Maker's side.
Yep. And that statement, that still does not make him a god, is a very good one.
How did Trevelyan know of the sacrifice at the temple? Answer!
Never.
There's no use to this defiance, little bird. There's no one left for you to... You will break.
I will die first. Or you will. You're alive.
You're safe now.
Forget safe. If you came back from the dead, you need to do better than safe. You need to end this. Do you have weapons? Good. The Magister's probably in his chambers.
You aren't curious how we got here?
No.
Alexius sent us into the future. This, his victory, his Elder One, it was never meant to be.
I'm so sorry for everything you suffered.
We have to reverse his spell. If we can get back to our present time, we can prevent this future from ever happening.
And mages always wonder why people fear them. No one should have this power.
It's dangerous and unpredictable. Before the breach, nothing we did...
Enough. This is all pretend to you. Some future you hope will never exist. I suffered. The whole world suffered. It was real.
Alright, Liliana. Hey, there's a note here.
What happened while we were away?
Stop talking.
I'm just asking for information.
No, you're talking to fill silence. Nothing happened that you want to hear.
And that is an accurate statement from Liliana. Nothing happened that we really want to hear about. Because really, it's all bad.
We need to find Alexius. I'm sure he'll be in the nicer part of the castle, if there is one.
Blood magic. So much blood magic. Alright, but... so much blood magic.
The Magister needs more power for his rituals.
No!
Come forth and serve the Elder.
This is madness. Alexius can't have wanted this.
The Elder One needs more power, huh? Wow. And it's just like... And the guy's like, no, and is sacrificed. Yeah, no, this is awful. This is awful. And look at that.
The breach, it's...
Everywhere.
The Elder One and his Venatori. They are the ones who opened the breach.
So many demons. Ooh. Yeah. And just spiraling up. Oof. Okay, this is the nightmare. This is a nightmare image of what happens with the veil removed also. Alexius's journal. Probably don't need that stuff. I'll just take the coin. I don't need the blade. I'm being discerning, I know.
No!
Connor!
It was an act of courage. He knew there was no other way to resist. He resisted that demon to the last.
Spellbinder's journal. So much here.
What became of Felix? Do you know?
Yes, I know.
And you're not going to tell me?
You'll find out soon enough.
Making sure everybody's healed. Alright. First off, let's enhance my magic. A little bit of stagger. Armor penetration. And that. Alright. Getting there bit by bit. Oh, it's not done yet. It's not done yet? Oh, okay, it is done. Red lyrium.
What in Andraste's name is that? Hold on to it. I want to look at it later. Try to take out that enchanter quickly. Block them from coming up the stairs! Come and get me! I could really go for some light reading.
Ooh. Wait a minute, what was that one? Barrier penetration, don't need the bow. increasing number of blocked doors. I can't get through,
What
which is
happened
fine.
here?
Somebody had very questionable taste. They haven't noticed us yet. Good opportunity to look for higher ground. Sorry for interrupting your dinner.
Hmm. Studies on the blight. Alright, so studying the blight. Well. Let's see. Oh. The wave blade, yay.
How much damage did Alexis' spell do?
Rifts tore apart all of southern Thedas, starting here. But whether that's his doing or the breach, who can say?
Doesn't look like the Elder One is interested in saving his followers.
No, he is not. They're just a means to an end. Do you really need to know more about someone if they view people as objects? To be used and disposed of.
I was worried I'd have to search the whole castle for you, Alexius.
There's no longer anywhere to run. I knew you would appear again. Not that it would be now, but I knew I hadn't destroyed you. My final failure.
Was it worth it? Everything you did to the world, to yourself.
It doesn't matter now. All we can do is wait for the end.
What do you mean? What's ending?
The irony that you should appear now, of all the possibilities. All that I fought for, all that I betrayed, what have I wrought? Ruin and death, there is nothing else. The Elder One comes for me, for you, for us all. Felix.
That's Felix. Maker's breath, Alexius, what have you done?
He would have died, Dorian. I saved him. Please, don't hurt my son. I'll do anything you ask.
Hand over the amulet and we let him go.
Let him go and I swear you'll get what you want.
I want the world back.
No.
wanted to die, didn't he? All those lies he told himself, the justifications. He lost Felix long ago. Didn't even notice. Oh, Alexius.
I know you cared for him.
Once he was a man to whom I compared all others. Sad, isn't it? This is the same amulet he used before. I think it's the same one we made in Minrathous. That's a relief. Give me an hour to work out the spell he used, and I should be able to reopen the rift.
An hour? That's impossible! You must go now! The Elder One.
You'll have to hurry. This is bad. We'll hold the main door. Once they break through, it's all you, Nightingale.
I can't let you kill yourself for me. There must be another way.
Look at us. We're already dead. The only way we live is if this day never comes. Cast your spell. You have as much time as I have hours. Though darkness closes, I am shielded by flame. Andraste, guide me. Maker, take me to your side.
You move, and we all die! You'll have to do better than that.
Put aside all claim to Redcliffe and we let you live.
You won. There is no point extending this charade. Felix.
It's going to be all right, Father.
You'll die.
Everyone dies.
Well, I'm glad that's over with. Or not.
Grand Enchanter, we'd like to discuss your abuse of our hospitality.
Your Majesties.
When we offered the Mage's Sanctuary, we did not give them the right to drive our people from their homes.
King Alistair, Queen Anora, I assure you, we never intended...
In light of your actions, good intentions are no longer enough.
You and your followers have worn out your welcome. Leave Ferelden, or we'll be forced to make you leave.
But we have hundreds who need protection. Where will we go?
The Inquisition might be willing to take in the mages.
And what are the terms of this arrangement?
Hopefully better than what Alexius gave you. The Inquisition is better than that, yes?
I know you are a mage, but consider how these rebels have acted. They must be conscripted, not coddled.
I've known a lot of mages. They can be loyal friends if you let them. Friends who make bad decisions, but still loyal.
It seems we have little choice but to accept whatever you offer.
We would be honored to have you fight as allies at the Inquisition's side.
We'll discuss this later.
I'll pray that the rest of the Inquisition honors your promise then.
The breach threatens all of Thedas. We cannot afford to be divided now. We can't fight it without you. Any chance of success requires your full support.
It's a generous offer. I doubt you're going to get a better one from us.
We accept. It would be madness not to. I will gather my people and ready them for the journey to Haven. The breach will be closed. You will not regret giving us this chance.
Oof. Just waiting on the loading.
It's not a matter for debate. There will be abominations among the mages, and we must be prepared.
If we rescind the offer of an alliance, it makes the Inquisition appear incompetent at best, tyrannical at worst.
What were you thinking, turning mages loose with no oversight? The veil is torn open.
Give them their freedom for now. If they prove later they can't handle it, impose restrictions.
And how many lives will be lost if they fail? With the veil broken, the threat of possession. You were there, Seeker. Why didn't you intervene?
While I may not completely agree with the decision, I support it. The sole point of the Herald's mission was to gain the mage's aid, and that was accomplished.
The voice of pragmatism speaks. And here I was, just starting to enjoy the circular arguments.
Closing the breach is all that matters.
I got a taste of the consequences if we fail. Let's make sure we don't.
We will not fail.
We should look into the things you saw in this dark future. The assassination of Empress Celine. A demon army.
Sounds like something a Tevinter cult might do. Orlais falls, the Imperium rises. Chaos for everyone.
One battle at a time. It's going to take time to organize our troops and the mage recruits. Let's take this to the war room. Join us. None of this means anything without your mark, after all.
Thank you. I'd be honored to help with the plan.
Meet us there when you're ready.
I'll skip the War Council, but I would like to see this breach up close, if you don't mind.
Then you're staying?
Oh, didn't I mention? The South is so charming and rustic. I adore it to little pieces.
There's no one I'd rather be stranded in time with, future or present.
Excellent choice. But let's not get stranded again anytime soon, yes?
I'll begin preparations to march on the summit. Make her willing, the mages will be enough to grant us victory.
Alright, she's gonna chat with me about the thing, but we'll see.
If Fiona and her malcontents are joining us as allies, we need to be prepared. Abominations are inevitable. Cullen doesn't have enough Templars to handle incidents. Some of the rank and file need to be trained.
Train our people, but keep it a secret. Let the mages think they're not being watched.
I like the way you think, darling. I'll have a word with Cullen. We are reliant on his people, absolutely. There has never been a greater threat to mages than the breach. Until it is closed, no one is safe.
I'm glad that one of us has confidence in the Templars.
It is not a matter of confidence. Reality does not change based on feelings. Magic is dangerous, just as fire is dangerous. Anyone who forgets this truth gets burned.
You're preaching to the choir, Vivian.
Tell me something. You told me that you'd see the Chantry restored. What about the Circle?
Mages shouldn't be kept out of the Chantry. Who knows the dangers of magic better than a mage?
A curious idea. Such twists and turns your mind takes. It's something to consider, my dear.
The Inquisition I understand you were instrumental in garnering the assistance of the rebel mages. It is well done. And I pray this Inquisition fares better than the Chantry in its handling of magic.
We will try.
In some ways, Andraste had the simpler task. Magic should serve man, and not rule over him. That tells us what should be, but it does not tell us how to get there. So many times the methods of men have undone the spirit of their goals. Once you have sealed the breach, we shall see whether this Inquisition is truer to the Chantry, or its own namesake.
Farewell, revered mother.
Make her go with you.
I'll take my leave. Good day.
Who is she, Ambassador?
A merchant. I thought we should reach out to the dwarves to secure lyrium for the Inquisition's mages. According to Lady Corpin, it raised the ire of the Chantry.
How?
Access to lyrium makes us rather more formidable than anticipated. We're becoming a challenge. Sadly, the remaining Grand Clerics appear to be consolidating the Chantry's power, instead of comforting the masses.
The Chantry should be a place of hope, not another group scrambling for answers.
That must be its strength again. The Chants did much to bridge nations. Little but the Chantry ties Orlais, Nevarra, Ferelden, Antiva, and even Rivain to a common cause.
Has the Chantry truly promoted such peace?
Andraste's chant is familiar across kingdoms, a source of many shared customs. That is the crucial point. Common ground is the start of all negotiations.
I suppose a shared faith can be useful when talking with strangers.
Precisely. And these similar interests are merely where we begin. We must learn to think beyond our own wants to secure peace in Thedas.
Planning to steer the history of the world, Ambassador Montillier?
I believe the Inquisition is already charting that course. Which brings me to a question, if you have a moment. The remaining Grand Clerics sent a missive inquiring about the events at the Temple of Sacred Ashes. They demand to know whether the Inquisition officially claims that Andraste saved you from the breach. If it were up to you, how would you reply?
I'd tell the Chantry that Andraste herself shielded me from harm.
I'd truly like to hear the debates that would raise in Val Royeaux. Thank you for your thoughts. A good day to you.
Yeah, there's definitely a thing there that could cause problems later.
Yes.
Mother?
Good.
Okay, before I go in there, I definitely have a few other things. I have companions I want to chat with.
Mages.
So let's...
Lovely.
They should have this breach sealed soon enough.
I suppose their gold spent as well as anyone else's.
It seems Blackwall knows nothing about the disappearance of the Grey Wardens. It's a disappointment. I am, however, glad that he is with us, even if he was not what I expected. He seems to be a good man, and his experience will be an asset to the Inquisition. As for the other Wardens,
I suppose we will have to keep looking.
In Redcliffe, you sacrificed yourself so that I could return here.
Of course I did. One small life in exchange for a second chance at history. I always loved a bargain.
It was still a sacrifice, and still noble.
And I would do it again.
I'll leave you to your work.
Alright, a couple things here. So let's chat with Solus. Oh, Dorian.
The Inquisition supports free mages. What's next? Elves running Halamsharal? Cows milking farmers?
Give me time. I'm sure I'll surprise you.
I suspect that's untrue. Unless you strip yourself naked and allow the Chantry to flog you into repentance. Now, that would surprise me. I do wonder if you've considered what this support of yours will do. For mages in general, I mean. The Inquisition is seen as an authority. You've given Southern mages license to, well, be like mages back home.
What would be wrong with that exactly?
Nothing, at first. Thing is, the Imperium was once just like the Sun. Templars, proper circles, all that rot. Then it changed, by inches. Not that this is reason to oppress us. Still, my homeland should be a cautionary tale, not a source of inspiration.
Have you gone to see Alexius yet? He's in the cells.
Not yet, no. I saw him before they locked him up. He looked despondent, broken. Not the man I remember, nor the one I want to. I suppose the Inquisition will judge him eventually. I wonder if there's any chance they'll show him mercy. He hardly deserves it, but for Felix's sake. I can't help hoping there's something left of the man I once knew.
So we have gained the mages. Excellent. They should be able to seal the breach. You are certain you experienced time travel? Could it have been an illusion? A trick of the Fade?
I've been to the Fade before. I'd know it.
Point taken. What an amazing gift. It is vital the Inquisition succeed to avoid the future you witnessed.
I'm surprised you're not more interested in your own future.
I know enough. If that future happened, then I, and Cassandra, Cullen and the rest, failed to stop this Elder One. Speaking of which, you should ready yourself.
For?
This Elder One. You have now interfered with his plans twice. Once at the Temple of Sacred Ashes, and now again at Redcliffe. A being who aspires to godhood is unlikely to ignore such an affront.
Very good point.
At least we've got Inquisition troops out at Redcliffe now, giving those people some real...
the Maker has revealed as if Mother Giselle brought as there is but one world.
The soldiers are more useful against the bandits who are preying on refugees.
Well, that's mages all over. So many robes, I bet all of Ferelden lost their curtains. I'll just be the other side of Havens, just in case.
Do you have a problem with our new allies? With mages?
No problem with mages. You're fine, right? My problem is magic. If mages sat on their hands, everything would be fine. I mean, yay, freedom. Great for them. Over there, away from me.
Tell me about yourself.
What about me?
You're skilled. Who taught you how to use a bow?
No one.
That seems unlikely.
What? I picked it up here and there. Mostly it just makes sense. It's not like that for you.
Usually it takes considerable discipline. Hence my question.
Look, I work at it. Practice a little. Not like Cullen and his pets. I mean, you miss, then you don't. Is it that hard to see when it's wrong?
Is it an elf thing?
Most I know couldn't find an arrow sitting on it. Right. Maybe I just make it look easy in shite company. Fact still is, no teacher. Where would I find one in alleyways anyway?
How about the basics? Where are you from?
Ferelden?
I got that from the accent. Where in Ferelden?
All over? Okay, fine. Denerim for a bit. South, north, wherever I want.
There are no connections you want to mention at all?
Nope.
How very Kunari of you.
What?
Never mind.
Good, right?
You're not like most of the elves I've met.
Thanks, right? Or was that an insult? Suppose I could go barefoot and whine more. Like that soulless, right? Never be as good as we were. Well, who's we? I'm just fine.
I think there's more to it than that. A few thousand years more.
Hey, someone wants to be angry about old debts, be angry. Be a terror that never lets an enemy forget. But if you're digging it up so you can wear it, that's just weird. I mean, the Dalish don't really know. They have stories, but that's all they are. It's all fancy dress, not history.
We'll talk later.
If you say so.
Yes, and with her saying if you say so, she's not so sure about me. But I don't have the Fairweather. I have not put the Fairweather friend stuff on because I don't want to be losing companions. And I totally would be. Okay, this. Any foe that attacks you in melee is going to bleed for it, taking a portion of the damage they inflict. Sarah. Well, for starters, stealth. She also needs full draw. Let's give him Fire Mine. Blackwall. Ooh, so much there. Alright. First off, I do think he needs each of these for starters. And then give it some of these specialties too. Any blow you can see, you can turn aside. All damage coming from the front is reduced. Solus is my spirits expert, which is wonderful, good stuff there. Varric. And then Iron Bowl. Oof. You deal more damage against enemies that are stunned or knocked down. And deep reserves. You get your breath back faster than most. When your stamina is very low, it regenerates more quickly. Interesting possibilities there. Still have to give him the Pummel Strike and Whirlwind, but it's fine. Everyone is now leveled up.
The Mage Rebellion joins the Inquisition. I've got to admit that's a twist I didn't see coming. One thing you saw in the future worries me. I mean, it was all bad. But red lyrium in Ferelden, infecting people and growing out of them, that's bad. Finding more of it really punches a hole in my red lyrium at the temple was a coincidence theory.
How long does it take for red lyrium to grow? How fast can it spread?
It took years to infect people in Kirkwall, but no one there was actually ingesting the stuff. This Elder One managed to take the worst thing I can think of and make it worse. That's an accomplishment.
We can't leave a single piece of that lyrium out in the wild.
I'm with you on that. I've got people trying to find out where the red stuff came from. I think maybe we should make that a priority. But that's enough doom and gloom. You just won a big victory for the Inquisition. What are you going to do to celebrate?
That's a good point. We should celebrate. A banquet. Something like a banquet.
Word to Josephine, and I bet she could arrange anything. Things should be calm around here for at least the next hour. Take a moment to enjoy it. If the world's about to end, I'm sure the Seeker will let us know.
Alright.
Never to rule over him. Foul and corrupt are they, who have taken his gift and turned it against his.
So, that Tevinter guy sent you into the future?
Every time I think I understand magic, the rules change.
And you're a mage, so that's saying something. Anyway, I hope our new friends have what it takes to close the breach. Damn thing gives me a headache just looking at it.
Good day to you. Pass my thanks to the researchers.
Make her look at it. So much easier to ignore when it's far away. And to actually walk out of it. To be that close.
If I hadn't been saved by the Inquisition soldiers, I don't know what would have happened.
Inquisition soldiers? That's not what I've heard. The breach, the Divine's death, the Wardens. It doesn't make sense. There's so much we don't know.
Your experience with the Wardens will certainly be useful.
Mostly the treaties, I expect. Old parchments you're welcome to. What about you? How do you fit into all this?
I just want to help stop the war. Try to put things back in order.
A worthy goal, one I'm happy to support. For me, I'll be satisfied so long as we find the bastards that killed the Divine. They owe us some answers. I've heard rumors of abandoned Warden camps all over these parts. If we have time, I'd like to take a look. See if there's anything we can salvage.
Let's talk about the Grey Wardens. You must know a lot about them.
Ah, the Wardens. I'm afraid we're less exciting than we seem.
So you have no idea where the rest of the Wardens are?
Do you find that odd? The Blight is over. We don't need an organized force. And orders don't change much from day to day. For the last 1,000 years or so, it's been just Find Darkspawn, kill them, repeat as necessary.
The Blight's been over for 10 years. What do Wardens do when the world's not ending?
There is still Darkspawn. Just because we kill so many in Ferelden doesn't mean they're gone. And the world is not so peaceful that there's no use for good men with swords. Sometimes you have to figure out for yourself what the pledge to protect others really means. It's not always about just archdemons and blights.
Where were you during the Blight?
I was in Ferelden, on my own, like always. Quietly killed my fair share of Darkspawn too.
You haven't had contact with other Wardens for a while. Why were you on your own?
It's what I've always done. Recruitment only requires one man. Besides, I've always been a loner. Works best for everyone that way.
Let's continue this at another time.
As you wish. I'll be here if you need me.
So for starters, inventory. Not iron bull I need for Blackwall. Armor. No, his abilities has cooldowns too. I'll give you that for the moment, but I'm going to trade you for that. And Cassandra, I am definitely trading you for giving you that. Sounds like Blackwall's going to be traveling with me for a bit. Let's see. That's for two-handed weapons, but no, that should be good right there. It's already got a plus 6% heal on kill and plus 8 strength, so some armor penetration and increased attack should be good.
Looks fine.
Upgrading him to that. And giving him that, I believe. Yes. Yeah, that should work very well. And then yeah, some spirit resistance should definitely be good there. Battlemaster Male. And then some magic resistance in there also. Put that on there and that. Confirm. And at that point, I believe Blackwall will be the most armored individual that I have.
Well.
All right.
Magic exists to serve man.
And what are we supposed to do, exactly?
What you always do. Complain.
We've already spoken with Commander Cullen. No one listens. We want better quarters. We want the Templars kept at a distance. And some respect for...
This is not the Circle. You mages are our allies, not our wards. Act like it.
How are we supposed to...
Deal with it. It never ends, evidently.
You don't need to tell me that.
I just don't know who told them I'm the one to yell at.
Is it that bad?
The mages are here as equals. They need to get used to what that means. It is your doing, after all. You created this alliance.
Well, I hope it works. What other choice do we have?
Oh. I do sound like I'm blaming you, don't I? I don't disapprove. In fact, you did well. You made a decision when it needed to be made. And here we are. I wish I could say this was my doing.
We wouldn't be here at all if you hadn't stood up against the Chantry.
You're being kind.
You're discounting your role in this.
Let's close the breach. Then we can say how successful I was.
The mages are ready to approach the breach. I pray this will be enough to close it.
You weren't happy with how I brought in the mages. Do you have a problem with me as well?
Of course not. I have no intention of endangering your alliance, but I must ensure the safety of those here. That concern extends to the mages. They are putting themselves at risk for the Inquisition, as are you. Any precautions taken are meant to aid you, nothing more. I hope you will accept them as such.
Why would Templars break away from the Chantry?
The Order believes the Chantry no longer supports their efforts. Not to the extent they should.
But the Templars have served the Chantry for ages.
And in that time, they've come to take the Order's services for granted. Templars risk their lives against blood magic, demons, abominations, to feel as if those efforts are dismissed. I may disagree with the Order's actions, but I'm here as proof of that. But I sympathize with their frustrations.
I'd like to know more about the Templars.
What would you like to know?
Why did you join the Order?
I could think of no better calling than to protect those in need. I used to beg the Templars of our local Chantry to teach me. At first, they merely humored me. I must have shown promise, or at least a willingness to learn. The Knight Captain spoke to my parents on my behalf. They agreed to send me for training. I was 13 when I left home.
13? That's still so young.
I wasn't the youngest there. Some children are promised to the Order at infancy. Still, I didn't take on full responsibilities until I was 18. The Order sees you trained and educated first.
And what about your family? Did you miss them?
Of course. But there were many my age who felt the same. We learned to look out for one another.
Prior to the Conclave, I'd only encountered Templars in the Circle. Do they do anything besides guard mages?
Templars protect against the dangers of magic. Before the Order left the Chantry, that meant serving in a circle. They were also tasked with tracking apostates, or fighting demons inevitably summoned by the weak or malicious.
You've made it clear that you consider mages a threat.
Any mage can be. I won't pretend otherwise. I've seen the suffering magic can inflict. I've treated mages with distrust because of it, at times without cause. That was unworthy of me. I will try not to do so here. Not that I want mages moving through our base completely unchecked. We need safeguards in place to protect people, including mages, from possession at the least.
I know how I spent my time in the Circle, but what was a typical day for a Templar?
Typical? The last time I was in a circle was right before it fell apart. Nothing was typical.
Before that, then?
Certain rituals require a full guard. A mage's howling, for instance. I've attended a few. Most of the time, you merely maintain a presence, on patrol or in the circle, ready to respond if needed. Mages pretend to ignore that presence, but they're watching you just as closely.
We would spend all day with Templars, and yet they rarely spoke to us.
A habit often mistaken for coldness, I'm sure. But we are expected to keep a certain distance from our charges. If a mage is possessed or uses blood magic, you must act quickly, without hesitation. Your judgment cannot be clouded. Of course, ignoring one another does nothing to foster understanding.
What does Templar training involve?
There is weapon and combat training. Even without their abilities, Templars are among the best warriors in Thedas. Initiates must also memorize portions of the Chant of Light, study history, and improve their mental skills.
Did you enjoy your training?
I wanted to learn everything. If I was giving my life to this, I would be the best Templar I could.
You were a model student.
I wanted to be. I wasn't always successful. Watching a candle burn down while reciting the chant of transfiguration wasn't the most exciting task. And I admit, my mind sometimes wandered.
Do Templars take vows? I swear to the Maker to watch all the mages. That sort of thing.
There's a vigil first. You're meant to be at peace during that time, but your life is about to change. When it's over, you give yourself to a life of service. That's when you're given a filter, your first draft of Lyrium and its power. As Templars, we are not to seek wealth or acknowledgement. Our lives belong to the Maker and the path we have chosen.
A life of service and sacrifice. Are Templars also expected to give up physical temptations?
Physical? Why would you... That's not expected. Templars can marry, although there are rules around it, and the Order must grant permission. Some may choose to give up more to prove their devotion, but it's not required.
Have you?
Me? No. I've taken no such vows. Maker's breath. Can we speak of something else?
That's all I wanted to know. Thank you.
I'm sure you have other matters to attend.
Alright, he's clearly getting flustered.
The Maker has revealed to me, as there is but one God, one life, one death. There is but one God, and He is our Maker.
Alright. Fine. I'll see if it...
Said she sealed the rift and stopped the demons.
Oh, they're enhanced now. Oh, good. Okay. Alright, I believe I am going to pause here. Save things.
It's good to be surrounded by mages again.
Really?
The debate, the crackle of magic, the smell of old books. The breach is a magical problem. The mages will help us solve it.
And I'll say I shall catch up with you next time. Thanks for watching, and please strive to be the best you that you can be.